Hello. During this presentation today, we will be doing a little bit of a hybrid. So we'll be doing some slides and demo. I'll be going over the high level understanding of what Zoho is and who we are, but the offerings we have. And then Dwakesh, who's here as well, he will be doing a demo, but also highlighting some of the features that these products have more specifically versus a high level approach. So today, how Zoho Books and Zoho Practice empowers finance professionals to succeed. We truly believe that Zoho, a in the market, it's a one-in-kind solution. Whenever we're looking at Zoho from the big picture, is we're a full suite of solutions, all natively built by us, so everything syncs to each other. You don't have to have all these different tools, such as your accounting solution, a different CRM solution, different practice management solution, a different analytics solution. It's all just in one place, and that's what we think is our advantage over the competitors out there. But with that being said, it's very feature rich, and you're not sacrificing any of the features that a, a legacy solution might have. We have pretty robust solution, and hopefully we can showcase that a little bit today. My name is Nathan Rogerson. I am the partner manager over here at Zoho. Specifically, my job is to help accountants under educate accountants about our solutions and help them grow their firm and offer more value for their clients. We have Val Steed. He's not on here today, but he's a resident CPA. He's actually in, I believe, Alabama today, but we go to a lot of road shows. You might have met us at Scaling or AICPA, one of those events. But that's where you'll see Val and myself at pretty much any event that Zoho's at, whenever regarding finance and accounting, we'll be there. And you can scan that QR or connect with me on LinkedIn if you want. So to go over the high level key features of Zoho Books, this is where here, this is where we can see some of the strengths we have. Our strengths, so you see a lot of numbers here. We 15 years domain expertise. So Zoho Books has been around for almost 15 years now, which is incredible. Zoho itself has been around for 26 years, but the application Zoho Books has been around for about 15 years. We've constantly been improving the solution ever since day one. We really started out in the small business space, but now the features are getting so feature rich that we can even approach that mid market space as well.
So we'll just have a quick walkthrough on Zoho Books and especially how they align with the accounting workflows in Zoho Practice. So we'll just keep it crisp. So I'll just start with Zoho Books now. So Zoho Books is our cloud-based accounting software, which has been designed to streamline your entire business process. So with Zoho Books, you would ideally be able to have your sales team create and send codes and invoices to your clients and receive payments, online payments as well, wherein you can connect our payment gateways like Zoho Payments, Stripe, PayPal, and so on. And we also have a dedicated customer portal through which your clients can make those online payments in bulk and also accept codes, reject codes, have a view of their projects and timesheets and so on. Apart from that, a company will also have a procurement team like a purchase team, wherein they can handle all their purchases with respect to the purchase orders and bills for the vendors, as well as track the inventory. We do have inventory level tracking in Zoho Books, which can be tracked under that. Followed by that, all the accountants within Zoho Books can also match and categorize the bank statements which the client uploads or have the bank feeds connected, and also reconcile the bank statements so that the value in Zoho Books tallies with the values in the bank statement, and also generate insightful reports to analyze the profitability of the business. So now we'll just take a look at a small example with a fictional company, like a fictional company like Xylo Industries. So they have their dedicated teams managing their own sales and purchases. So the sales team at Xylo started using Zoho Books to monitor their sales operations, and they soon realized that Zoho Books could serve as a platform to manage the entire business workflow, right from procuring the products from the vendors to selling it to the customers. So now we'll just see how the sales cycle functions within Zoho Books. Followed by that, I'll show you about the purchase part and how an accountant can handle it from the accountant's perspective as well. So this will be a swap and present session wherein I share you the slides and also about the product overview of Zoho Books as well, side by side. So the sales cycle first starts with the first onboarding your customers, followed by creating a quote for them. So we do have a quotes module which is specifically available in Zoho Books under the sales section, wherein you can create out quotes and send it to your customers. And as Nathan mentioned, you get the default fields of while creating a quote or an invoice or a sales order or bill. Apart from that, you can also create additional custom fields if you want to track further information with respect to a specific customer at the customer level or at a quote level or invoice level as well. So you get to create a code by adding your necessary products, whichever you're going to send a code. So uh, once you send the code to your customer, so your codes can be accepted at the customer's end, either through an email, whichever you send across, or else you can also enable a portal for them, a customer portal, wherein they can view all their codes, sales order, invoices, whichever you have raised, and also make online payments for those invoices. So if you have connected your payment gateways like Stripe, PayPal, Zoho Payments, so they can just make a bulk payment for for their outstanding respect to clients' outstanding invoices through the online portal itself. So even at their end, they would be able to track all the projects you have done for them and also the timesheets you have raised and also look at the bank statements as like the statement of accounts with respect to the invoices and credit notes, whichever have been raised for them. So your client would be able to accept a quote from this portal itself, wherein they can either accept or decline based on the quote you have shared. So all these can be done with just a single click. So once these have been done, you can get to convert these codes to an invoice. So wherein once you create an invoice, these invoices can either be paid online or offline as well. So it all depends on your business requirement, how you wish to do it. So while creating an invoice, you do have an option to opt for payment gateway through which you're going to receive a payment from your customer. So you do have an option to configure payment gateways using the payment gateway option, wherein we provide multiple payment gateways which are available within Zoho Books. For instance, I can just show you a sample of the payment gateways which we have. Just a moment. So these are some of the supported payment gateways which we have at our end, like Stripe, Square, by phone, followed by ACH payments is possible through Forte, and we also have Zoho payments also available. So these varies according to the edition of Zoho Books which we are using. So your clients can start receiving the invoice, and if you're connected a payment gateway, they can make those payments online through any of these connected payment gateways. In case, whenever you send out an invoice, if there are any goods or products which have been damaged, so your customer might be requesting you for a refund or exchange of products. In those cases as well, you do have an option to create out credit notes. So these credit notes can be created from your invoices itself. Okay, so once you create a credit note out of those invoices, these credit notes can be applied to the same invoice to adjust against the outstanding invoice for the respective customer, or else you can just create the credit note and just store it as an excess credit towards the customer. So these credit notes can be adjusted against your future invoices of the customer. So you do have an option to apply it to future invoices as well. So these are few options which we provide under the sales section of Zoho Books. Followed by that, we also have introduced a new specific feature in Zoho Books known as the progress invoicing. So this is a feature which we have recently launched. So under the progress invoicing, so if your business is all more about involving project-based billing, so Zoho Books allows you to create progress invoices. So this means that your teams can raise invoices based on milestones or percentage of completion, enabling you to receive partial payments throughout the project rather than you waiting for complete payment upon the completion of the project. So basically, this feature allows you to maintain a steady cash flow within your books and also improve your working capital management for long-term engagement. So in order for you to create a progress invoice, it needs to be created from a quote, basically. So first thing, you need to ensure that the progress invoice option is enabled under the quote section. Once you have enabled it, so from a quote itself, you do have an option to create them. So once your quote has been accepted by a customer, so you can access the respective quote and convert it to an invoice. When you convert it to an invoice, so you have your preferences there. So if it's going to be based on a specific percentage or an amount, you can just choose the option. Or else, if your code has multiple line items like timesheets, you can just invoice them based on those specific line items. Or if you're not going to do it for a specific line item or a percentage basis, then you can go out for the convert with the entire invoice. So all these details can be done within the single interface itself. Followed by that, as we raise invoices. So as you are aware, whenever you raise invoices and send it to your customers, there could be scenarios where your customers could default in payments wherein the invoice could be overdue beyond the payment due dates. So in case if you want to charge them a late fee or charge them a late fee, you can do that as well in Zoho Books. Rather than you manually creating them, what you can ideally do is you can set up a late fee automation. So we have a late fee automation feature wherein you can just configure the preferences. So based on the invoice due dates, whenever the invoice is overdue by a specific criteria, you would be able to create late fee invoices and send it to your clients, which they can make the payments accordingly. So you do have an option to configure a preference based on either per specific percentage or a fixed amount as well. And you can just mention your criteria like how you want the late fee to be charged. So if the invoice is overdue by a single day, if you want 5% to be charged, then out of the total invoice amount of $100, 5% of the amount will be charged as a late fee, and the late fee invoice will be automatically created for the customer and sent across to them. So if you find it under the invoice section, you'll find late fee invoices also created, auto created. These things can be paid by your customers accordingly. Finally, one more feature which I like to show under sales cycle will be about the revenue recognition. So revenue recognition is crucial for any business which receive any advance payments or offer long-term services like project-based billing or else like an annual subscription and retainer-based services as well. So in these cases, revenue recognition can be used. This is a recently introduced feature within Zoho Books. So with respect to revenue recognition, you do have the option to configure multiple recognition rules, like how you wish to have a rule to be configured. So you can choose a deferred revenue account where you want to track those deferred revenue. So basically, what the revenue recognition is about, it's all about instead of recognizing the entire amount as an income right away, Zoho Books basically offers you to defer your revenue and recognize it gradually over time. Like this over time can be either based on a monthly basis or quarterly, yearly, or you can also configure custom date ranges and do it. So you do have an option to configure your recognition method, like it can be equally split or even with prorated values and also a recognition start time. So this ensures that your profit and loss, this ensures that it reflects only in your P&L statement, reflects only your earned income, and also aligning with the accounting standards like IFRS. So if you go into this revenue recognition specifically, so you would be able to associate this revenue recognition rules in a specific invoices. For example, let's take a look at a specific invoice of Shania. So under each line item, you'll be able to configure rule under the show additional information section, wherein you can just configure the rule whichever you have created and just store it. So once you store that rule and assign that rule, you'll be able to find those revenue recognition details under the journal section of Zoho Books. So additionally, you'll also be able to generate reports within Zoho Books with respect to revenue recognition. So you would be able to specifically identify it for a specific client, or else you can also identify it for a specific item or a customer, or even also find a deferred revenue details. All these details will be automatically tracked under this revenue recognition section of the report section. So clicking on that will direct you to the respective transaction details, which will contribute to the overall detailed report of that. So this summarizes our sales cycle basically. So right from sending codes to collecting payments for the invoices, and also automating your late fee and checking about revenue recognitions. So now so all these details, all these activities are carried out by your sales team. Followed by that, we'll see about how a purchase cycle starts and how a purchase team at Xyler can take care of their purchasing needs. So with respect to the purchase cycle, so tracking payables like expenses or purchases is a crucial part for managing any specific business. So it gives you a specific clear understanding of how much is being spent on procurement and helps in evaluating the overall profitability of your business. So with Zoho Books, this process becomes pretty much easier because we have a wide range of features, right from tracking expenses to sending out purchase orders to your vendors, and also converting it to a bill online and making online payments, and also track the inventory. So with respect to the purchase cycle, your vendors, like your purchase team, can send out purchase orders to your vendors for procurement of products basically. So wherein they have to just go into the purchase section of Zoho Books, wherein they can create purchase orders and send it out to your respective vendors. So purchase orders are basically documents which a buyer issues to a seller, indicating the information about the items they want to purchase, the quantity and the respective prices. So from the vendor's perspective, what you can do within Zoho Books is that you can enable vendor portals for your respective vendors. So once you enable a vendor portal for them, they would be able to view these purchase orders from the portal itself. So based on the purchase order you are sent across to them, they can view that, and they can either, if they're fine with it, they can also accept it or decline it based on their business criteria. And once they accept it, they can raise an invoice for the same. So whenever they want to raise an invoice, they can just upload the invoices using this uploaded document section. Once these invoices have been uploaded under this uploaded document section, so from your end, these will be treated as bills basically, wherein you will be tracking the payables. So all these uploaded documents will be automatically available under this uploaded documents under the bill section in Zoho Books for you, wherein you can just view the document and just convert it to a bill, where all the vendor details, the item information, and the amount, everything will be auto captured using this advanced auto scans in Zoho Books. So additionally, Zoho Books also allows you to manage all your purchase transactions in an automated manner through various options like advanced auto scans, email forwarding option, and also recurring transactions, like wherein you can create recurring bills and recurring transactions as well. Additionally, instead of tracking your expenses by entering them manually within Zoho Books, you also have an option to upload your expense receipts in Zoho Books. Based on that, the which we have, like the advanced auto scan, your receipt details will be auto captured, which in you can just convert it to an expense, and all these values will be auto captured here with your respective vendor details and so on. And this way as well, you can just create a expense and track it internally for your organization's expenses, operating expenses as well. And specifically, apart from that, in Zoho Books, we also have a dedicated document section. Okay, under this document section, you can basically upload all your documents. Subsequently, these documents can be associated with any of the transactions associated in Zoho Books. So out of this particular document, you can add it to an expense or a bill, or create an PO based on that as well. Additionally, within the documents module, I explained about this advanced auto scan, wherein this feature basically captures data from the files you have uploaded or imported into your Zoho Books organization. So once these documents are uploaded, they will be automatically scanned, and data such as the transaction date, the transaction value, the name of the merchant will be extracted and auto-populated when creating a new transaction. So this will ideally eliminate the need for you to select the respective merchant or enter the respective value for that specific receipt. Additionally, if your vendor wants to send out any documents to you, uh, they can do it directly to your Zoho Books organization. So in Zoho Books, we have an option to configure your email inbox, wherein under this configure option, you'll be able to configure a specific system generated email address, or else if you're not satisfied with that, you can also create a new email address of your own. So whenever your clients or your vendors, or whenever you forward it, you can just forward it to the specific email address, and once that has been forwarded, they'll be automatically falling under the inboxes section in Zoho Books. So based on that, you can just convert it to a respective transaction by accessing those respective documents. So we have seen, so that will be all about the bill creation and the PO creation within Zoho Books. Additionally, within Zoho Books, we also have a dedicated approval section wherein you can configure approvals for both the sales set of modules and the purchase side of modules as well. Okay, so with respect to the approval module, you will be able to configure it for. Previously, we had an approval module as common for specific sales section, like for invoices, quotes, credit notes, sales order, or for the entire purchases like bills, PO, vendor credits, and so on. But right now, we have enhanced that feature wherein we provide module-based approvals. So wherein you can configure for specific module alone, like a bill or like a PO or like an invoice and so on. So this way you can configure like a hierarchical approval or a simple approval as well. Like simple approval wherein whoever has approval access can approve it, or if it's going to be hierarchical, like a multi-level approval. So once a specific person manager is approved, it'll go to the higher senior manager for them to approve the respective transactions. So all these things can be handled within Zoho Books as well. So one more important feature which I would like to show here will be about the bill pay add-on. So this is a newly added feature within Zoho Books, wherein it comprises of onboarding a vendor, right, by inviting them to a portal wherein they fill in the details. Followed by that, uh, once they fill in the details and submit it to you, so you'll be approving it. Based on the approval, they can upload their purchase orders, like they can upload the invoices, which can be created as bill at our end, wherein you can also reconcile them. Like reconciliation, it's known as a bill pay reconciliation, wherein you get to compare the items and the quantity and the rate in the items in the purchase order with the bill and the purchase receipt, and see whether the data are correctly matching or not. And you can also record batch payments. So we will see about that in depth now. So with respect to the bill pay add-on, first step will be all about the vendor onboarding. So wherein you can just invite a vendor to a portal by entering the respective email address. So once they submit their details, you would be able to find them under this invited vendor list, wherein you can either approve and proceed, or else you can reject if they are not yet shared you the details. And if you want to request any other details as well, you can just use this request more details section, wherein they will be receiving those information through which they can fill up those details. So once your vendor has been onboarded into your Zoho Books organization, furthermore, they can just upload their invoices using this uploaded document section under their vendor portal. So whenever they upload these documents under this vendor portal, you would be able to find that under the bill section of Zoho Books under uploaded documents. From here, as explained earlier, you would be able to convert them to a bill and so on. So I also explained about the bill reconciliation part. So under the bill section of, you'll be able to find a bill reconciliation module, which once you enable, you would be able to choose a preference. So if it's going to be a two-way matching in the sense when the details in the purchase order matches exactly with the bill created, or if it's going to be three-way matching, wherein the details in the purchase order, purchase receipt, and bills are ideally matching. So you would get to have a comparison between these two and proceed further with the creation of the transaction. So if you take a look at a specific bill here, if any of the details are not matching, you'll be receiving a banner message here through which you can identify what has exactly changed from a PO to a bill here. So here the rate has ideally been modified. So you'll be able to check these and proceed further. If there are changes, you can go and make those changes, or else you can just proceed with the creation of the part. Once you are created the bills, so you would need to track your payables, and we have to make payments to your vendors to ensure that your statements are intact and your accounting records are intact. So with respect to this, you can make payments in multiple ways. Basically, you can make it through an ACH. So we have 40 ACH to which you can make the online payments or even pay via check. Apart from that, we also have this new feature known as the batch payments, wherein you can record bulk payments for multiple vendors. So you will be creating a batch here, and you can add all the bills with respect to each and every vendor who are associated, and just export them you can just export it and share it to the bank, and the payments can be initiated from your banks. And once the payments have been initiated and done, you can change the status of this bill to processed. Once it's been processed, the bill will be automatically marked as paid for you. Apart from that, Zoho Books also has a banking feature, that is secure banking feature, wherein you can have your client's bank account connected. And so bank accounts can be either connected through Yardley or Pay, which are banking service provider, through which you can connect your bank account, and your statements will be fetched automatically into Zoho Books. The feeds will be fetched automatically into Zoho Books, and as an accountant, you can match and categorize those transactions and finally reconcile them. So in case if you want to automate these certain matching and categorizing of bank statements, you can do that as well, basically by creating transaction rules. So you'll be able to create transaction rules based on a specific criteria, how you wish. So if you want to apply to deposits or withdrawals, you can do that as well. And based on a specific criteria, these rules will be created. And when that specific transaction matches the specific rule, they'll be automatically categorized at your end, or you can also recognize and categorize, review and manually categorize them as well. And at the same time, you can also match bank statements as well. Once all these things have been completed, you can go on with the reconciliation part. So reconciliation is basically done to ensure that the statement in your bank account tallies with the statement in your Zoho Books, the transaction Zoho Books. So that can be done for a specific period based on the requirement whichever you have. So even in the case of reconciliation, all your categorized and matched transaction manually added transactions will be auto-selected, and you can just check, and you have to only update your correct closing balance and reconcile them so that your books will be tallied altogether. And additionally, within Zoho Books as well, if you have Zoho Expense integration, in Zoho Expense, you do have an option to manage corporate cards. So the corporate cards will also be synced into Zoho Books, and you can also reconcile them as well in Zoho Books as well. So even these are newly added features within Zoho Books. And the next one, which we will see, will be about the fixed asset management. So fixed asset managements are basically tangible assets which a business owns and uses to produce goods and services. So these assets ideally cannot be converted to a cash readily. So instead, they serve the business in the long run by generating profitable revenue. For example, of a fixed asset, which I can share you, will be machinery or a vehicle or furniture as well. So with respect to the fixed asset management, you can do that within Zoho Books readily within just a single click. And once you record the fixed asset for them, the asset depreciation will be automatically calculated. So in Zoho Books, you have a dedicated module for fixed asset management under the accountant tab, wherein you can just configure your fixed asset how you wish to set it up. So under the fixed asset, you will be entering the respective assets, physical, the purchase value when you have purchased, the current, the disposal value, and so on. And how you wish to calculate the depreciation. Is it going to be on a declining balance method or on a straight line method, along with the depreciation frequency when you want it to be done? Um, and also the whether it should be calculated on a pro rata basis or non pro rata basis, and also assign the respective fixed asset account under which these depreciations should be tracked. So once you create those fixed assets, you would be able to track those depreciations over this from this particular screen. So automatically these will be tracked along with the depreciation value and the cumulative value and the current value. Each and everything will be automatically tracked. So in case when a fixed asset cannot be used, no longer used in your business, you can simply write it off. So you have a write off option here under the fixed asset section itself, through which you can write it off. And once the fixed asset is written off, all the depreciated entries after the write-off date will be deleted, and only the depreciation entries up to this write-off date will be available under this depreciation flowchart. And additionally, when the asset is no longer required or it is likely to be generating a profit for you at your end, you can simply sell the asset as well and generate it as an invoice and record a payment for it. And the next module, which we'll see, will be about the accountant corner. So that's known as the accountant section. So this is for basically for accountants to use. It makes your work simple, right? From handling your accounting tasks to stay organized. So within the accountant module, you would be able to manage all your accounts, right from income and expenses to in a single place. It also lets you manually record journals, like a record journals, also bulk update transactions. You can also record your tax payments, and if there are any exchange gain or loss available for the transaction that your client has recorded, you can also post currency adjustments. And if you want to add certain specific accounts for your specific clients, you can also do it through the chart of accounts module, and you can also import your chart of accounts. Followed by that, based on your client's business requirement, you can also set up a budget for them and also compare it with the actual budget as well. So you get a dedicated report out of this as well. And at the end of a specific business period, you can lock transactions using this transaction locking feature. Basically, you can lock all the transactions in a single one, where each and every module will be locked all together, or else you can lock specific modules as well based on your specific requirement. And once they have been locked, no changes can be done for those existing transactions, or no new transactions can also be added. However, if there are scenarios where if you wish to add certain transactions, then you have an option to partially unlock them and post those transactions and lock them again. So that will be all about the accountant section as well. Followed by that, Zoho Books is also compliant with all the regional compliances. So based on the business location you're using, it's compliant with the local taxes. So with respect to Zoho Books in USA, in US region, you will be able to configure sales tax, purchase tax, use tax, and also generate Form 1099 for the vendors and make those Form 1099 payments as well. So it makes it easy for you to and stay compliant within Zoho Books itself. So within Zoho Books, you would be able to configure taxes, set up tax rates, set up tax authorities, set up exemptions as well, and also create tax groups as well. So once you create these tax rates, you can also associate to a respective customer or a product as well, or even a vendor, for example. So whenever you associate a tax rate to them, and whenever you create transactions for them, like an invoice, these taxes will be automatically fetched for those respective transactions rather than you manually selecting those tax rates. Apart from that, for advanced tax automations, you can use the Avalara integration, which is available with Zoho Books, wherein uh, which will make your task much more simpler. Wherein Avalara helps you to calculate the right taxes for each and every sale. It basically uses your customer's location and what you're selling and the tax tools to get the accurate tax rates. So even Avalara can be configured within Zoho Books. Apart from that, one more new feature which we have within Zoho Books under the tax module, which you recently introduced, is the use tax. So use taxes are basically the taxes on goods purchased outside your state, but used within it. Basically, if you're purchasing a product from a specific state wherein that specific state does not have taxes for that particular product, but it's been taxed there at your end in your state. So you'll be paying a use tax. So those things can be configured within Zoho Books. Um, Under the tax settings, you can configure use tax, and you can use this use tax while procuring a product from a vendor. So when you create a bill, you would be able to enable a use tax option under this accounts payable section, and you will be able to associate the tax here. So whenever you associate a use tax, this will be tracked in your sales tax liability report under the report section. And this ideally helps you in protecting the state revenue. Furthermore, you will also be able to generate Form 1099. So Form 10, you'll be able to generate the non-employee compensation form or the MISC form. Both these things can be done within Zoho Books accordingly. So these are for the payments done to your independent contractors, retirement distributions, dividends, rent, and so on. So you would be able to specifically enable 1099 for each and every vendor at your end. Like from your end, for each and every vendor, you'll be able to track 1099 payments. And so all paid transactions for that vendor will be tracked as payments, and they will be included in the 1099 report. Additionally, you will also be able to upload Form W9, which is basically an IRS form to identify the contractor's identity and the tax and the TIN number. So you would be able to upload the Form W9 for the vendors, or else you can also request them through an email. So when you request them via email, they will be a Form W9 generator, which your vendors can fill and share it to you, which you can upload it there, or else they can also upload it to the vendor portal itself. So once the Form W9 has also been uploaded, you can generate the 1099 report and file it to the respective taxpayer portal. After filing, you can mark the report as filed and email the copy of the Form 1099 to your vendors. Finally, within Zoho Books, we have this dedicated reports module section, wherein Zoho Books offers 70 plus reports, right from your financial overviews like the P&L, balance sheet, cash flow forecast, your receivable and payable report, the accounting ledger reports, and also the activity log and audit trail, and also the tax summary reports. So all these things can be generated within Zoho Books. So from Zoho Books, you'll be able to, if you take a P&L report, for instance, you can compare it within previous periods or based on a specific reporting tag as Nathan suggested. All these things can be done. You can also customize it report further. And you can also share it to your other users. You can schedule a report to be sent on a time interval basis to your specific users, or you can also export and share it to them. And you can also share the report directly from Zoho Books as well. Apart from that, if you want to create customized reports, you can also use this custom report section to create a report of your choice with the specific modules available within Zoho Books. So these are the report category, which we consist of 70 plus reports. Each and every report has their own details, has their own use cases, which can be generated with Zoho Books and accessed instantly. So that's just a brief overview of Zoho Books, which I've shown you. Followed by that, we will see now about Zoho Practice. So Zoho Practice is a recently introduced software, which was introduced in 2023. It's our it's our practice management tool, which we have specifically designed and developed for accountants and accounting firms to basically streamline your daily operations. It is a part of our Zoho Finance suite, where all your clients could be using any of the Zoho Finance applications like Zoho Books, Zoho Expense, Zoho Payroll, or Zoho Inventory for the day-to-day business activities, and you'll be using Zoho Practice to manage these clients of yours. Additionally, Practice provides you key features like managing your clients, maintaining healthy relationship with your clients, managing the documents, managing task and timesheet billing will also be available within Zoho Practice. And also you'll also have an analysis into a client's financial data and so on. So all these things can be covered within Zoho Practice. So we'll just see a brief overview of what are the features which Zoho Practice offers. The first feature which we'll see will be about Zoho Ledgers. So in case of Zoho Ledgers, so in Zoho Practice, we can segregate clients into Zoho clients and non-Zoho clients. Apart from that, we can classify a client into as Zoho Ledger clients, basically. So Zoho Ledger clients are specifically someone, you can take an example of a rental property owner or an NGO. So they are going to just receive donations to track their income, which will be tracked as income, and they're just going to do an basic expenses. For these kind of clients, they will not be actively using an accounting software. They're just going to track it in an Excel sheet. When these sets of clients approaches you for any kind of accounting services, you can use Zoho Ledger for them to track their basic business workflows. Like Zoho Ledger, we call them as a subset of Zoho Books because only accountants can use it. You'll get the basic banking module to upload their bank statements or categorize to reconcile them. You also get a manual journal option to post their income and expenses as a journal. Followed by that, you would be able to import the chart of accounts, set up a chart of accounts for them, and also set up a budget for them. And you can also configure opening balance and taxes based on a business location, and finally generate reports. So you'll be able to generate a basic business overview report, the tax report, and the accounting reports as well. And you can just export and share it to them. Your clients will not be able to view it, but you can just export and share it to them. So you can take a rental property owner, for example, or a seasonal transaction businesses, because they do not have an active accounting software to be used at that moment. For those kind of clients, you can just suggest Zoho Ledger and maintain their accounting for them. Apart from that, in Zoho Practice, right from the client onboarding part, you also have an option for the client collaboration. So you will be able to collaborate with your client online itself by creating client requests wherein you can exchange sensitive information between your client and your firm using the secure medium. You'll also be able to discuss with your client as well. So with Zoho Practice, you can have two kinds of discussions, mainly the contextual chat, wherein which is powered with our Zoho Click integration, wherein you can communicate with within your firm. Your users are your firm users, and your client users are your client end users with whom you can just collaborate and initiate a normal chat with them, real-time communication. You can also send out voice notes to them as well. Apart from this default discussion option, you also have another option known as the WhatsApp integration. So if you have a WhatsApp business account at your end, you can configure WhatsApp business account into Zoho Practice. So under this integrations page and set up templates. Once you set up templates, you can start communicating with your client through WhatsApp itself. So you will be able to send out any kind of notification through WhatsApp, and also go when your client responds to those, you can go in for the normal conversations. So you'll get a WhatsApp option also available here. So once I send the template here and once my client responds to me, I can go in for the normal conversation with my client. So these things can be done within Zoho Practice itself. So WhatsApp is a recently introduced feature within Zoho Practice, which we have done for enhanced communication. Followed by that, you would also be able to create and manage tasks within your firm. So tasks are basically a to-do list that is completely internal to your firm. You will be able to create tasks and also create subtasks within the main task and log a time for them. And you can also charge your client based on the timesheet you have logged. So timesheets can be either built based on either your task hours or staff hours. You can just enter a rate for respective staffs and charge your clients accordingly from your own Zoho Books application, because these timesheets will be synced to your respective customers in Zoho Books, through which you can charge your clients accordingly. So when you create a task, you'll be able to associate a client, and when you log a time based on that, those timesheets will be synced to your respective customer. So all these things can be done. Furthermore, you also have a dedicated module known as the work paper module. Okay, so what is a work paper? So work papers are basically documents which are used by accountants and auditors to organize and analyze the data. And these also act as a financial evidence during an audit or a review for a client. So within Zoho Practice, you would be able to generate like a work paper, and with the help of that work paper, basically you can analyze the trial balance, profit and loss, and balance sheet of the respective client, and you can prepare it and verify it. In case if there are any if have to make certain adjustments, you can post those adjustments from Zoho Practice itself. You would be able to post a journal, and all these journals will be affecting your client's Zoho Books account. We'll be updating your client's Zoho Books account and also update the work paper real time. Even if you want to reclassify certain accounts, you can do that using this reclassification option, wherein you'll be using this bulk update module to update the accounts as well. And finally, if you have any clarifications over those transactions, you can create a client request and a task to clarify within your firm and also with your client and post those necessary changes. Once that is done, you can generate an independent auditor's report and share it to your client. So this is one more feature which we have introduced within Zoho Practice. So this you can customize this template as per your business needs. Followed by that, um, we have the workflow automation, wherein if you want to automate certain tasks within Zoho Practice, like if you want, whenever you onboard a client into Zoho Practice, if you want to send out an email, you can also do that with the workflow automation module, wherein you get to configure workflow automations for workflow rules with respect to the client section, task section, questionnaire section, and the client request section. All these things can be covered and workflow automations can be done. Apart from all these, if your business requirement has a specific certain set of modules for your business requirements, you can create them as custom modules as well. So Zoho Books offers you an option to create Zoho Practice offers you an option to create custom modules through which you can achieve your specific business needs. For example, uh, let me provide a small example. If you want to uh, analyze the cost per employee while logging timesheets. So you can use custom modules and automate them with custom function scripts and incorporate them into this module and use them for your use case scenarios. Apart from that, you also will be able to create task templates and store them in this template section. And from here as well, you can just assign it to your respective clients. So all these tasks will be auto created for your respective clients, and this will reduce your manual work time as well. Followed by that, if we have like a specific set of clients like who are into the same kind of businesses, you can just you import your chart of accounts and add it to a part of template, and from a template you can just propagate and add it to the respective client's books application from Practice itself, push it from Practice itself. Apart from all these modules, one more specific module which I missed to show you will be the client portal, that is the self-service portal. Even from Zoho Practice, you would be able to enable a self-service portal. Okay, so under the self-service portal, this will ideally be disabled for each and every client. Once you enable it, they will be able to sign into the self-service portal with their own password. From the portal, they can upload documents to you, and they can also send out emails. Whatever documents they upload, they will be automatically landing in the documents folder of the respective client in Zoho Practice. And whenever you initiate a collaboration in the form of a client request, they'll be available here. You can also sign documents digitally using our Zoho Sign integration. So all these things can be achieved within Zoho Practice using this self-service portal or with the normal Zoho Books module as well. So this is just a signed request which we have created. So your clients can digitally sign these documents, and these signed documents will be automatically shared back to you in your client request section. So I'll cover about the WhatsApp integration part, and you also get know about the financial insights. So within Zoho Practice, with your connected client Zoho Books or Zoho Expense or a payroll or application available, you also get a financial insights, which will provide you a bird's eye view of your client's financial data, right from the age payables to cash flow, and also their pending reviews. Like if they have any unused credits, if there are transactions not processed, they'll be shown up here under cleaned up reviews. And you also get to have a general ledger anomaly. General ledger anomalies are basically unusual fluctuations in your client's Zoho Finance application. They'll be showing up here. Rather than you checking each and every report of them, you can just access it from this particular module and access those respective reports from Zoho Practice itself. So you'll get to have a single window here through which you can access your client's Zoho Finance application like books or expense and access the respective report contributing to this value. So all these details, these are some of the features which Zoho Practice offers. And over to you, Nathan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hey, thank you for that. Thank you for everybody who joined today's session. And just quickly, some testimonials from accountants out here. The big thing you can see from these accountants is the ability of Zoho helping them streamline their solutions, but also improve their workflows and how Zoho can work for them. So we have a pretty robust accounting partner program. So if you're interested in that, just go ahead and head over to, you can go to, really, you can find the partner program anywhere. If you just go to zoho.com and click on partners at the top right or top middle, you can join our partner program. So one thing you need to know as a partner, again, we're an all-in-one suite, so all-in-one integration, native solution. All our applications are built by us, and if it's not, then we'll let you know. But unless it has a name like Avalara, like obviously that's Avalara's product. But yeah, so again, streamline productivity. You get early access as a partner to applications and features. We have a client-focused approach where we want to give you real-time insights and guide your clients to make informed decisions. So really, we're not looking in the past anymore. We're looking to the future. And we also have dedicated partner support as well to help you with your go-to-market strategies, with your sales, with any support within Zoho Solutions itself. So we're here for you. So in the partner program, you can scan this QR code and we'll be happy to connect with you as well. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, team and Dwaktesh for going through that.
Thank you so much. So if you have any queries or if you want a personalized demo, you can just drop an email to support@zohopractice.com for demos on Zoho Practice. And also for Zoho Books, you can drop an email to presales.usa@zohobooks.com. I just posted those email addresses in the chat box for you all.
Well, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you
And
so
we're going
much.
to end this session now.